This is Grindhouse Courthouse, After Hours.
Go, go, Power Rangers! You mighty morphin' Power Rangers!
That song really does a lot of the heavy lifting on the original show, right?
It really does.
Almost all
of it? Yeah.
Because, like, the show's bad. Like, it's cheap. It's clearly just like, how can we spend as little money as possible and trick these fucking children? And it worked.
It definitely
worked.
did. But everybody got excited about it, though.
Yeah, but dude, I was doing fucking roundhouse kicks with my brothers before that intro even ended, so it did its job.
Yeah.
So, Dave, you've never actually watched any Power Rangers, like the TV series, movies, or anything?
I've seen like an episode or two. I don't think I've seen the movies at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely never.
Okay, but we watched the movie at your house. I know you were there.
I swear to God, I was not. I
remember the whole thing.
walked it out then. Apparently.
Yeah, Dave.
I remember Bryan Cranston looking up at Rita and going like, I blew. That's how the movie starts.
The new one? Oh, yeah.
The new one.
Oh, the new one. We watched the new one together?
Yeah, the new one. Yes. I swear to God you were there.
Okay.
Did I break into your house and watch a movie again? I know that happens.
We have done that.
Or did we skim through it? Did we like do the 5-minute viewing of Power Rangers?
There was definitely some skimming. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's-
I wasn't thrilled with the teen drama. I'll say this about the 95 movie. There wasn't teen drama because they forgot to include like any dialogue or character development or growth or
that's
whatever.
They just replaced some characters and then that was it.
Yeah. When you're bringing up like Tommy and Kimberly's relationship, what relationship? He puts his arm around her at the very end, and like that's the most we get out of those two. We're just like, is there something?
Nice.
Because they didn't really establish this. They didn't really dive into these characters.
I think at this point they're really pissed because I know Billy, whoever played Billy,
David Yost.
yeah,
Yeah,
David
that's
Yost. I think he's already falling out with them at this point, if I remember the interview right.
Yeah.
Because he had no lines.
Yeah.
Rocky had no lines, but Rocky had no lines because I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they brought him in like a week before, like he was in like 2 episodes or something before the movie came out. So no one knew who he was, and everyone fucking hated him because he wasn't Jason.
Yep.
Yeah, because there's 3 characters that they introduced into like the series right before they did the movie. I think they filmed like 6 episodes, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you got to do a movie too."
Yeah, Aisha, Rocky, the guy who played Black Ranger,
Johnny Young Bosch.
basically Billy, Tommy, and Kimberly. Well, Billy and Kimberly are the only original 2, and Tommy is he's kind of original, but he came in a later plot point.
That's such a huge gamble, though, thinking about it, right? Where you have TV actors, and then you're just like, okay, this is your first go at a TV series.
Oh man, did it show! Oh my god!
You get 6 episodes, and now we're tossing you into a full-length movie. Go nuts! But like what you're suggesting with Billy of not having any lines, it felt like none of the Rangers actually really had lines. Now thinking about some of those scenes,
Yeah, they didn't.
No.
Tommy and Kimberly headlines.
but like, what did they talk about? They didn't. They just said, "I'm really sad about Zordon." And you go, "Oh, okay." Like,
no,
that's
they
enough
said,
for me.
"Oh, we've got to help Zordon,
Yeah.
and let's go." A couple EAs, but it's maybe it didn't show up that much.
Yeah, it was normally just like, let's go. And like all the heavy lifting with the dialogue was Ivan Ooze and this Dulcia who they brought in and whoever they had playing Zordon. So like all the actors who they actually brought in. But it was fucking painful watching Billy speak at all. He is so bad. He is so unbelievably bad. Like I get he probably did go through a lot of shit. He is a worse like I can't believe it how bad he is. I can't believe it.
We thought like, well, the funny thing that stood out for us when we were doing the viewing for it was Rocky. He has 0 lines, or he's sometimes not even included in shots.
Yeah.
So you actually like forget that he's in this film, which was very surprising.
Well, how much does Aisha talk?
I think she talks a bit more. Like she has like a lot of the lines are 80 yard after, right? Like they clearly came in and just like, oh god, we got to fill this scene with some.
I think they were trying to cram this in between like shows, like episode filming, so like it was rushed from the beginning. But like, but like you're saying, the Rangers barely talked, and of the Rangers who actually did talk, it was pretty much exclusively Tommy and Kimberly.
Yes,
and everything else is minuscule. Rocky, I think, had the least. Zach had a little bit more because they gave him a plot where like, I don't want to be a frog. Shut the fuck up. You're gonna be a frog.
You know what's funny? I was watching like behind the scenes, and that Zach guy, he was just like, wouldn't it be funny if we did this for this scene? Because that wasn't originally scripted. And the director, he's new. This was his first movie. And you're just like, no, let's stick to the script. They record it. And he's like, okay, what idea did you have? And he's just like, well, let's do this frog line where I'm pretty upset about being a frog, and then she gives me a kiss on the head. And it was just like, you struck gold, kid, and they kept it in the movie. So it was just, I don't know, this movie, it felt slow and fast at times and very confusing for the most part for 95.
So the one scene that I can't explain it, but it just stood out to me because like I felt like there was a tonal and like they might have switched cameras or something. So anyway, they're in the quarry. This is when the Tengu fly back, and this is when we get introduced to John Wayne Tengu, which
it was so fucking weird.
Who the fuck?
One guy does the perfect
voice actor get away with this shit is beyond me. But anyway, but it's actually after that point, and they're talking to Ivan Ooze, and up to this point, I don't know, it'd been pretty shitty dialogue, but Ivan Ooze is a good actor.
Yes.
Like he delivered very, very well. Yeah. He's pretty funny actually. But this line, I don't know, it's just the way he delivered it, but I actually laughed out loud was the Tengu leader guy. He's like, "All right, boss, sorry we failed you. Can we take another crack at it?" And then like there's this hard cut and it's just like the lighting's different or something. And Ivan Ooze goes like, "How about another quack at it?" And just like zaps them and kills them all instantly. And I just like kind of laughed at the scene because it's actually kind of funny. Let us take another crack at it. How about another quack at it? Boom, dead.
That's what sold it for you.
But like you'd think the line was going to be something about killing them, but he's just like quack at it. I thought that was so funny.
Can we like establish Ivan Ooze? Because he was built for this movie, right? He wasn't part of the series.
No.
I still don't really understand his motives and why he's doing the things that he's doing and the reasons for how. So they unleash him. They dig him up. His main motive is, I got to get my morphs or my Zords or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has the power to create ooze into sentient beings that can do his task. So you get the... what are they called?
Well,
like just the ooze guys, right? The minions that they fight. And then he creates the bird things. But yet his plan is, rather than creating thousands of those to dig up his Zord in the area that he was in, he decides to go to a factory, use his electricity powers to get it going, to develop more ooze, to give to parents of Angel Grove, to then dig up his Zords and then kill them. But he has to do it before midnight now because he really needs those Zords.
You even forgot.
You can say it. You can say it in the voice all you want. It fucking worked. That plan. That plan worked.
But like, there's so many.
It said he's got all these powers, and then he goes. He made bottles. He made labels for ooze.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He starts up an entire like
factory. He went.
He took out a business loan.
He went in person to like a fair and dressed up in a thing, and then gave his sales pitch to a bunch of kids to bring all this ooze home.
It's so weird. It's so
weird.
Weird.
Hoping that their dads would just go and be like, "What's this?" and then start like vigorously finger fucking the jar to get the ooze out. I don't know. It was weird. I think this movie came out at like the peak of like GAC sales, right? Like GAC sales were at an all-time high, and they're like, we gotta get in on this GAC trend.
Yeah.
Oh. I thought for sure we were gonna see some devil sticks busted out at some point here, like yo-yos and crazy bones and stuff. Some pogs getting slammed.
Ivan Ooze, he's stolen all of our pogs. Stop him!
Yeah, and so menacing.
Oh, so many slammers.
What are the stakes?
So his motivation is unclear, and then it evolves into this giant CG battle, which you guys said tops everything in that era. Just nothing stands.
It was amazing. Now that the competition is over, Reboot looked better. Fucking Tekken cinematics looked better than that. And it's like, what were they thinking? And then in the credits, it was like 3 guys doing all the effects and everything just came together.
Yeah, but like, I have to give them credit for, they did the set.
No.
Like no, not the CGI. Not the CGI, no. But they made like the set of downtown to do filming of that because, again, modern movies would have like, we're just going to CGI this whole city, then we'll have the Zords come in and everything. It's like, they didn't have that technology and they didn't have the budget. So they're just like, we can only do the Zords, but we can't just keep filming in the city. So we have to make this model. It was like 12 feet high. And so they put in the effort there. It definitely looks cheap, the CGI and the models. But again, kudos for actually like building these things out.
I mean, it would have looked better if they just had some guys in just with cardboard boxes taped to them with stuff. sprayed paint.
Yeah,
and
rubber
Yeah.
fighting.
So
Fighting
what was the budget of the new one?
Budget of the new one was 105 million.
And it made
142.
142.
Ooh, failure.
holy shit.
definitely-
So
oh, yeah,
just
it-
outright, the old one made more money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it fell on its face.
Edit that in right there where you said it fell on its face.
But back in the main argument.
we're in After Hours. This is fair discussion about these movies. I don't have to pretend I like it. But I kind of did like the new Power Rangers more than the old one. Because like the old one, again, I just...
Well, the new one's, it's an actual movie. It's not just
Yeah.
assuming that you're like a dumb shit kid
Yeah.
coming in and like you've already seen the TV show. Because going back to watch this now is like, who the fuck are these characters and why aren't they talking to each other?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
with the
God.
new... Yeah, with the new one, they're trying to establish it, but I think they had the idea that they were going to be doing like 3 movies or a series, like 6 movies or 10 movies out of this. So they tried to get like solid characters established in this film. So like Matt was describing, it is the Breakfast Club. Like you have these teenagers, these misfits coming together for reasons. You learn about like Jason being a failed football star. So he's got that pressure. He's got issues with his father. Billy's on the spectrum, so he can't interact with other humans. Kimberly, I think, is just like bullied constantly for being.
I think
cheerleader or something.
she's the bully.
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
common.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
Totally.
been
How
there.
gorgeous teen girls get bullied for being
Fuck
the
you.
hottest girls in school.
Yeah.
Pretty popular girl.
I can't remember, but like
Ridiculous.
they all have something, and them interacting and like coming together of like, no, you have to care about each other, and that's how you morph. Like it's the power of friendship, basically.
Yeah.
In order to morph.
No, you hold out your little watch
Yeah.
and you yell pterodactyl, and then
That's the power
That's
coin.
it.
That's the power coin, by the way, in the old ones.
Oh yeah, you're right. Forgot about those.
So this one,
Huh?
just yeah, the old ones.
We didn't even mention the ninja outfits they get in our movie.
Oh boy,
yeah.
yeah. Do we want to talk about the costumes then? Because like,
You mean the ninjetti?
Yes. Jetty's spinning kick doesn't spin until the last possible second.
but where did you learn that?
Advanced technique.
where did Tommy learn that?
I'm
They
pretty sure that was the immediate outcome of the movie, was that we were out of Mighty Morphin Rangers and we went into ninja something after this one.
That sounds right.
I could see
or
that.
maybe it was Power Rangers Zeo. I stopped watching after the first Power Rangers because I was like, well, they've done it. Can't get much better than perfect.
But like with the 95, they actually updated their suits. Like they gave them something like armor, right? Like it's hard plastic rather than just spandex, because it just wouldn't translate over to
There's an interview out there with Tommy, and he's like, we're actually wearing armor. They're like punching and kicking us and stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought as a kid, that's a dumb thing to say as an interview. And as an adult, I recognize now that it's a dumb thing to say in an interview.
But it's just like, I like the design of the 95 armor. I thought it was a fresh take on it. Like when we were watching and I was pointing out when Trini gets the headlamps on her head, I thought that was probably the coolest thing when I was like 7.
What does
now
she
looking
say?
at
Like
it's
power?
stupid.
It's like power beam activate, and it's like a
Yeah.
flash.
Yes.
light on it.
Everything is like, you guys, you got to power up, but you're already in your power suit. How can you power up? And then like Tommy just gets kicked in the face the next scene.
I remember being really torn about that change in the movie. So first off, I thought like moving from just basically spandex with a plastic helmet to like what looked like armor to a whatever, an 8-year-old, 7-year-old, really cool. That was super cool.
Oh, yeah.
I thought every single animal change was such fucking bullshit that I was going to lose my mind. I was like, you're telling me he's going to go from a T-Rex to a fucking ape?
Yeah.
From a mastodon to a frog? From a pterodactyl? Even the girl ones, like the pterodactyl to a crane?
Yeah.
There was something
White
about, like,
tiger to a
animal
falcon.
shapes.
Even the good ones were still downgrades. Like, oh, white tiger
We're
to
not
falcon?
great.
Yeah.
They did that in Mortal Kombat 3, where it's like, how do we up the ante? Like, we've had one Mortal Kombat, 2 Mortal Kombats. They're uppercutting dudes into spikes and all that. What if we just gave them animal powers, where Sub-Zero turns into a polar bear? And it was like, who wants that?
Yeah. So that was, I also agree. I don't believe I enjoyed.
Like Beast Wars, that was stupid too.
I will not. I will. Beast. I actually need to watch Beast Wars.
Beast Wars
again.
is awesome.
Beast
Actually,
Wars
no,
sounds
because
good.
I thought cars were stupid, which is what Power Rangers eventually turned into, because Power Rangers became Power Rangers Turbo,
Oh yeah,
and that's fucking
Yeah.
lame. Cars are boring. I hate cars, but
Matt, what do you think of like the new costumes that they had in the reboot then?
They were fine. They were actually. I don't know. Were they real costumes or were they just like CGI'd like Avengers?
It was definitely CGI, but the way that they described it was the alien tech basically coming from the power coin, which is in them, and it morphs around them. So it's almost like a nanotech
Something
forming
like
around
that, yeah.
them, which I wish,
Boo.
but it's kind of cool. But it got compared to like Michael Bay a lot with the Transformers because that was also coming out at that time. So I can see that. So if they maybe took a different approach with the costumes, it would have been okay. But it still stood out. I just kind of wish that they did a reveal of the costumes, not in the first 5 minutes. So you see like Zordon as the Red Ranger and Rita as the Green, and you're like, why are they? Reveal this in
Adam,
like
did you
45 minutes in?
Adam, did you in the version of the new one did you watch? Were they speaking Spanish in the very beginning scene when they?
No, they were speaking some other language. Like
it was some
they
other
made up
thing,
a
and
language
then
for
like
us.
I had Spanish subtitles on at the same time. I was like, "What is?"
What
Lo
the fuck?
Lo siento. It's what the?
Miscommunication.
And then it was like, "What is happening? Did I just buy the wrong version of the movie here?" But that, yeah. Isn't it convenient that all of these people from all of these different planets and galaxies all speak English perfectly?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, brother.
It's me, Golda. I'm a big golden winged ape thing. I speak perfect English, but I talk like this.
Goldar's definitely has more personality in 95 in
Yeah.
comparison to the reboot. In the reboot, he's just a giant gold monster, like made of gold, and he's just a wrecking machine. He just
Yeah.
does Rita's bidding. That's basically.
He has no personality. He's not a
We just
goon.
he can't speak. He's gold, Tom.
Yeah, he's gold. Yeah, Rita needs to.
just a henchman.
There's a very weird time pressure where they're like, "How long? You know, Rita's back. How long is this going to take?" This is in the new one. About 11 days, says Alpha, and then
Yeah.
then the next scene we see Rita. They like pull her up from the ocean. I guess Jason's dad is a fisherman or something. They pull her up from the ocean, and then the next scene is she's essentially eating people. She's just eating like homeless people around the docks, and then just eating gold and like for 11
yeah,
days
she-
she's just a cannibal person.
Yeah, the best-
Just
Get
going-
it in me. Get it in me.
The best part is like Billy has the giant board in his basement, and it's just like another homeless person murdered, gold missing, and he's got like the string connecting all these things. So it's like, well, Billy's doing his homework, while training, while going to school, while taking care of his family. Again, Billy's a fantastic.
He's the real
character in
hero.
this one.
Why
He
did she
truly
need
is.
gold?
Because she has to get enough gold, so it's like replenishing her. But then with enough gold, she can create Goldar. I can't remember his name now.
Does she poop them out?
No,
I
she-
love gold.
she just like kind of rises him, similar to what she does with the putties. I believe that's how it happened. I can't remember.
And there's no way that the giant CGI monster battle at the end of that movie will not look super dated in 20 years. No way.
Oh,
Doesn't-
well,
Doesn't it look dated now?
Yeah.
it does.
Like,
But
It's
what makes
not
it even
great,
more
yeah.
dated? Yeah, what makes it more
In the
dated
new
is not-
one, does Rita throw her scepter from the moon and go, "Make my monster go"? And then you have no idea how she gets her scepter back, but she always gets it back.
Yeah. But,
it's
like,
always there. Next episode.
yeah. Well, she does have a scepter in this, but she's like building it, which kind of looks cool because again, more gold that she gets, it develops, and she has the coin, like the Green Ranger coin in it. But like again, going back to like what would make the reboot dated, it's definitely going to be all the pop music. So rather than having just like an original soundtrack building the tension with like strings and orchestra, no, they went to every like pop song that was popular in 2017. Just like imaginary dragons, play your beat right now, and it's kids coming together, and then like the battle scene, they have like Kanye song playing in the background. You're like,
This is not
this
aged
does
great.
not, this does not work.
I ain't saying she a gold digger.
They didn't even play that song. They should have. Missed opportunity.
They also do that thing where they made like they do a new cover, a moody cover of Stand By Me.
Oh,
Oh
do that.
God.
Did you ever see that part?
yeah,
it happens
I
when
forgot
it
about
happens
I
when
think I
Billy
blocked it.
dies before they get
Yeah.
bring him back to life.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Oh my
You
gosh.
seen it.
Yeah, but I don't remember anything about it. Just like I didn't remember anything about the 95 movie either.
Yeah. But again, like Billy dies and then drives the plot forward because they bring him back and then they are able to morph. Like it's Billy
They-
is essential for this story.
They have the power to bring dead people back to life.
Zordon does.
Their friendship.
Instead of
Their friendship has the
Yeah.
power.
Zordon going through the power grid to become living again, he puts his life force into Billy and he stays on the wall. I think that's what the
Yep.
reasoning was.
Yep.
Because friendship. Dave's not happy about that one.
Power Rangers. I don't know
All
about
right,
this
it's
shit.
so silly. It's so silly though. Once he's like starts.
Well, it should be goofy. It should be ridiculous. We also watched that like bootleg,
oh yeah,
dark and gritty Power Rangers before we watched this.
Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, with what's his face?
James Vanderbeek.
James Vanderbeek from Dawson's Creek. He's born for that role. And it's not the same. Like Power Rangers shouldn't be dark and gritty. It shouldn't be serious. It should be like reader repulsive. After 10,000 years, I'm free. It's literally only time to conquer Earth. Oh, only teenagers can save us. Like, I don't need to see the Black Ranger like violently murdering people. That's not what makes it great.
But you know what's funny? I think 95 had more violence than the reboot.
Oh, it should be violent. It should just also be goofy.
But like, I guess it was goofy too. But like, there's more of those creatures, like the putty creatures from Ivan Ooze, that get destroyed. Like, crates are falling on them. One guy just like slides through a grid and just explodes into ooze. Like, there's more death in the 95 in comparison to.
Can you kill ooze?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I'm getting up and walking away too. This is ridiculous.
Matt and I will continue talking about Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying listening to all this garbage.
Yeah, so we just had 2 members leave. We're just going to continue talking until they get back. So I think the problem with the reboot, and let's see if you agree with this, Matthew, is that they put everything in it. It was no holds barred. Rita, Goldor, Zordon, like, they did everything in this one movie rather than spreading it out across like 2 or 3. Rita, I feel, is like a top tier threat, like as a villain.
Oh, so we needed,
and she shouldn't have been the first villain that they face.
We needed one of the lesser villains, like Skrizzard or Twin Man or something like that.
Spiky head dude. But like, because you need a lower threat, because they're still establishing their powers. Like, they only trained for 11 days. That's not enough time. So for them to go against a ranger that has actually destroyed multiple rangers, it doesn't make sense for them to easily defeat her.
Yeah, instead of one origin story, we got 5 origin stories. Yeah. So we got one. Instead of the one scene of like Tobey Maguire figuring out that he's strong, we get like 5 of those. And Kimberly crushes her phone in her hand, but it's not actually because it's strong. It's because it's an iPhone and it's an inferior product. She just crushes it right in her head.
Oh, we should
just like all Apple products.
I completely forgot about that. We could have countered with your Twitter, Snapchat comments. I wish they expanded it out where rather than again having such a high level threat such as Rita, they did a lower thing and they're still clunky. Like, they're still trying to put together their powers, trying to establish themselves, working as a team, rather than it just like all clicking and coming together and they're able to save the day. So it's like, where do you go from that next?
Sequels. They're planning all these sequels. They're going to bring Tommy back. Did you see the stinger at the end of the new one?
Oh yeah, he was in it more. Him and Kimberly were actually in it more, and they had.
Oh yeah, we got cameos from the original.
Yeah,
the only 2 actors that aren't murderers.
So apparently, Tommy was supposed to be like a mentor in the sequel, where he's just like, "Oh, we were previously Power Rangers," and they start training up these kids. I don't know who the villain would be, but due to like contracts and other movies, people just like couldn't return. Like Bryan Cranston wasn't going to return. The Red Ranger wasn't going to return, and then it's just like, yeah, this movie didn't do that well, so we're just gonna put it to a side right now. So I don't know what they would have fully done with a sequel of this, but battling a villain that high, what's next? Like, it has to be the world exploding, which they're kind of touching upon. I don't know. Lower the risk. Lower the stakes.
Make it just like a wacky adventure and not like a Marvel Endgame.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of what they did. They went full tilt, like they went to 100 with this one, when they should have dialed it back a bit more and established the characters. And
once the Earth is at risk, where do you go from there?
Exactly. Do like Chronicles. You remember Chronicles, where it's just the kids that get their superpowers and then the one guy turns evil? Kind of go on that level, I think, and it would have been fine with the Power Rangers, but not so much
street level crime like Batman.
Now, do like Weekend at Bernie's, where it's just a party that's at risk.
Oh, nice.
You just might not be able to party.
But the thing is, like,
they're just carrying Zordon around on a little thing to make him look like he put sunglasses on him.
Why is your friend so pale? But like Angel Grove in that last scene of the reboot, it gets destroyed. Like, it's comparable to Man of Steel, where Superman's fighting the Zod warriors in Smallville. It's the same level of destruction. So it's too much. It's too much for kids.
Do the Power Rangers do they make the kids like faster and stronger in general? Just having the powers?
Unclear. It definitely makes them better fighters because then you can put stunt people in. But
once they power up and they put the helmets on, then you can replace them with anyone.
Yeah.
At least in the 95 one, it's a very nebulous, like, we got to power up and then we can win, even though we're doing exactly the same stuff. You know they don't even shoot anybody in the 95 one? They've got the guns the whole time. Nobody gets shot.
Yeah, Dave, you missed out when our viewing party. It was just Tom shouting at the screen for an hour and 20 minutes of, shoot someone. You
Use the gun!
You have the gun right there. I can see it.
Every time they break the gun out in the original series, it solves their problems immediately.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't know they had guns at all.
But the reboot, they show them like able to jump really high, climb mountains really quickly. Like it shows them developing their strength a bit more than the 90s.
Well, I can climb a mountain. I can jump high.
Not like this.
Yeah,
Tom.
not like
They're-
Billy.
They're scrambling up that mountain, up the chief, just full force. It's great.
Anyways, that's Power Rangers.
Yeah, I'm not sure what else we want to talk about with this. It's kind of. Oh, I have one thought. I like how it started after
The
after
dinosaurs dying?
No, after the ranger shot. So there's one scene, it's stupid, with Jason doing a little prank, but they have this one shot where Jason's in a car trying to run away from the cops, and the camera's doing a 360 around him to show like the cops catching up and Jason distracted and driving around. And they do like multiple 360s, and it kind of reminds me of in Hawkeye, like episode 3, they did a similar shot where Clint's escaping the dudes or the bros. So I thought that was interesting because it's like, oh, maybe they're actually going to introduce some type of style. You know, the director is going to have some ideas of how they want to do shots, and it just again becomes a generic action film.
No,
after that.
it's a Power Rangers movie.
I know, but like, it would have been very interesting to see like more of a director's influence into some of these movies.
Yeah, I want to see Martin Scorsese do a Power Rangers movie, and we'll see what's happening.
I'd fucking love that. Just offer him like $500 million so he can't say no. Just get out there, give him like a $5 million budget because it's going to his salary, and then just like, yeah, what can you do? Or Quentin Tarantino doing a Power Rangers movie. I'd like to see that.
3 hours of dialogue.
Finally get that sick dialogue in it.
Yeah.
And then there's a scene where people just get brutally murdered by someone with a samurai sword. Just like hundreds of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Power Rangers.
So, Dave, are you excited to watch 95? Do you regret your decision?
I think either one that I would have picked, I would be not excited for. I'm dreading both of them.
You're going to try and watch both, or?
No, I'm only going to watch 95. I will not watch 2017.
No, you did already. It left such a non-impression you don't remember it.
No, I'm not excited at all.
On the bright side, I think you
I
picked
might
the
make Anastasia watch it with me.
That's fair. For you, not for her.
See how that goes.
at least you picked the shorter one. So
That's true.
Yeah, reboot's 2 hours.
Oh, thank
And
God.
it feels the weird thing is though, it feels like it should have been longer at times, and then it feels like it should have been shorter at times. It's an odd movie. It's definitely an odd movie. Question to the group: do you think we're going to see another Power Rangers reboot? Do you think we're going to see something else come out of Power Rangers within the next couple of years?
the TV.
No, I think it ran its course.
Dylan, this is a podcast. People can't hear you shaking your head.
It'll be back. Like, give it another couple years, because kids love this shit. Like, they've done so many fucking series, and it should have killed it. When they were cops, is like, what the fuck are you doing? When they're pirates, what were you thinking? And it just keeps going. It just keeps making money, right? I don't think it'll be like $120 million effort to revive it, but, maybe like $50 million, $60 million.
I wonder if they took the approach of having like a $10 million budget and keep it very low key I keep saying like the Blumhouse model. Give them a low budget and see what kind of movie they can come out of.
The only way they could save Power Rangers is to do John Wick, but without all the murder. Just a lot of punching and kicking. It's like, oh yeah, look how tactical these Power Rangers are.
That would be very interesting. I don't know how I would feel about it though, because I've watched a good chunk of these John Wick films now. Tom and I watched the second one last night, but we really didn't watch it because we're playing Super Volleyball.
Yeah, Adam's really bad at Super Volleyball.
Put
that on the record. Put it on the record. Did you win a single round?
No, not this time.
Well,
but we
rest my
played
case.
two versions. We played two versions of Super Volleyball.
And I beat you in both of them.
The first one was faster and it was weird to react, and then the second was slow down. And it was just really hard to.
Was it also too dark? You couldn't see anything.
All right, I'm gonna stop recording.
Anyways, John Wick was a great film. Super Volleyball is great. It's an old game, but it still holds up if you're looking for, some one-on-one volleyball action, which nobody is. Anyways, thanks for coming, everybody. See you next week when we watch Back to the Future 3. Yeah. I mean, yeah!